Good morning, West Coast, and good afternoon to the East. This is Midday Bell, where we deliver actionable insights, expert interviews, and real-time market updates to help you and myself trade smarter. I'm your host, Rebecca Kerswell, and today we're speaking with Norman Hallett, who owns and operates the Disciplined Trader, founded back in 2000. Norman is a trader and educator with over 40 years of experience and now focuses on helping traders master mental discipline, build consistent income through prop trading strategies. Norman, thank you for joining us today.
Do I look like I have 40 years experience? I don't know.
I don't know. I hope so. I'm looking to talk to an expert. So
yeah, it's not actually. Yeah, I actually started. My first trade was 1979 in August or December, and the market zoomed to 800 in gold. That kept me in this market until right now. So yeah, it's been great.
Zoom to 800, and now we're hoping it zooms to 5,000.
That's right.
What a time change. Well, nobody introduces yourself better than you. So if you could just give us a brief background about who you are and what you do, and then we can dive into what's impacting the markets today and what strategies and stocks you like to look at this recently.
Okay, I'll give you the 60-second version. I've been in this a while. I was in the restaurant nightclub business. Actually, I ran some of the supposedly a Studio 54 represented type of. It was supposed to be a certain. Supposed to give them a run for their money. Never really happened. We didn't have drugs, I don't think. But I got into the trading business because I have a math degree from the University of Cincinnati, and I said, hey, maybe I'll sell some gold. And started really within about 2 years, I was running one of the largest option firms in the country that sold precious metals options at the time. That was through the 80s. Went on my own. I traded money as a commodity trading advisor for Payne Weber, and went on my own in the mid-90s and formulated the Disciplined Trader in 2000, because the mental part of trading is really where most people go wrong. There are so many really good trading plans out there, some better than others, but it's the mental part that kills people, and that's really always been my focus. And though lately I've been zooming in on the prop trading, because prop trading is something that can take a little bit of that stress off by the fact that you're risking somebody else's money. I mean, you should feel responsible and hard about it, but the truth is that it's, they have trite parameters, and you shouldn't worry about the prop firms. They're making plenty of money on the fees from people who are not doing well. But prop trading and the discipline part seem to have gone together for me. So now I'm training traders on how to trade with the prop trading rules in mind. That's kind of, that's the brief 90-second shot on me.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, the stock market is incredibly emotional. I mean, the stock market moves more or less on emotions, but we should make sure that we don't trade on emotions.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, you have to kind of outsmart it, which is almost impossible to do. But when it comes to what are you like watching and investing in today? I think that's kind of what every investor wants to know. They want to know from your expert opinion, like, what are you watching and how, what are you seeing when it comes to managing your own emotions based on all the political stuff that happens?
What the heck is going on? Okay.
Yeah, like what is going on?
I have learned that whether you're trading options, I don't trade much options anymore. I'm a futures trader now because of the prop trading focus. Right. And really, I've been that specific pretty much exclusively for the last 20 years. But the idea is that I try to look at markets that are moving, something that's in the news. I think a lot of new traders tend to go the other way. They look for a slow market. I think that when you have markets that aren't moving, that tests your patience. And lack of patience is where a lot of traders go wrong. They tend to, want to be in the market. And so I always advise taking 8+ trades rather than waiting for the perfect tested setup, the trigger that will get off to a nice jump, so at least you can take a scalp, which is also important, I believe, in prop trading, because they count open trade equity that you don't take against you. So I'm always looking for markets that are moving. I'm looking for markets that are in the news. And right now, the precious metals are in the news. Of course, the indexes, but the precious metals are happening. And maybe is this a good time to share the chart?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is a daily chart of the platinum market. And as you know, I'm showing you this chart because this is the one that I've been drawn to because of this move. This is a move that happened in the month of June. I mean, unbelievable. From $1,000 here to over 1,300. Almost, it's a 35 to 40% move in a commodity in 1 month.
Wow.
I mean, we can all rejoice
Yeah.
on whatever the heck the news is, but
Uh-huh.
I think that, you know, if you've got a pretty good system, it can alert you to what's going on. Of course, this right here would have been the area to take advantage of from a monthly trading standpoint because of getting over all of this. But
And you would have an indicator set up that's going to notify you of this?
no, I don't. You know, what I do is, let me reduce this. I'll kind of show you what I do. This is the board that I look at every day, and you can see the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of noise. I've learned that I used to run a room of 63 professional traders, and when they didn't do the job, when they were running money, investing money for their clients, when they were not doing well, I would pull them into my office and almost to the person, I would say to the man, but there were two women in there, and this was back in the 80s and 90s. They were always at the top of the board. I think they didn't have quite the emotional problems that some of the men had with the ego. But the idea is that if you keep a trading plan simple, it's very easy to recognize when a move is happening. These are all, except for the platinum I just showed you here, these are all daily charts. And you can see right here, this is a formation that I always look for: stillness, and then a move, a large candle breaking through this 8-bar exponential moving average. And I know that in your past interviews, you talk about a particular thing that I look at. My guide is this 8-bar exponential moving average. You can see how well this happens to be the ES chart.
Right.
You can see how well it adheres to it until it doesn't, how well it adheres to it until it doesn't. And here's the platinum on the daily basis. You can see how well it's adhering to the, it looks like it may want to roll over, and that's, you know, I don't trade from the daily chart, but I always look at it and I go to say, I like trading the 5-minute chart. And you can see the 8 is a pretty good guide. This right here is the 34. I use it as what I call a backstop. So I'm always looking to short the market when the 8 is below the 34, and I'm looking for triggers to buy the market when the 8 is above the 34. So this kind of an engulfing pattern that happens above the 34 crosses the 8 here just barely, but good enough, leads to something good. So my way of trading is so I can look at all of these charts and I can just look for a setup. Here's a setup right here on the short side. Now, I don't like going against my 34. In other words, if I'm looking for it to go down, I think it may be limited. 34 is a Fibonacci number. And, you know, I mentioned that I have a degree in math. They pounded us on Fibonacci. And I've learned that in trading, it is something that can be a nice guide. So if I were to short this market, I would be taking a scalp somewhere before this. This happens to be the crude market. I made a nice trade today. This right here, this $500 trade right here was right here. This is where I love to see the cross, when the 8 crosses and then moves that. I actually took my profit right in here. Anyway, I thought I would show you a little bit about what I do and where I go, because in prop trading especially, very important to say you open trade equity, to not let it go, because they count that against you.
And are you pretty strict with this rule too? Is that like basically the one foundational rule that you follow, that you've learned to just stick to over your years of experience?
Yes, I've tested this particular formation, which is what I call a hesitation candle followed by an extension candle through the 8. When that happens, I'm short immediately. I literally put my finger on to press the mouse. And then when this candle finishes, I always wait for the close, which is another tip I can give to new people. Always put in your stop, always wait for the close of a bar before acting on it if it's part of a formation. And I'm short here. I put my stop above here. I make sure that I measure the loss potential, and the loss potential in prop trading usually is never over $250 in a trade. And so, and I follow this all the way down, looking for a breach, and it didn't happen till right here. Now, I was, you know, when you're running a business and trading at the same time, it can be tricky. So I usually look for twice the size of this bar. I got out right in at this movement right here, and took my $500. That was the only trade I made today. But here's another. Here's another formation, hesitation, move through the 8, but now I have the 34. So do I take the trade or not? Some of the people I train will take the trade. And if they do, it's with a smaller position size. So when you have a great trigger and there are resistances above you in a long trade, change you, and you're the type of trader that's aggressive, and you don't want to change who you are. That's another thing we can talk about for hours, about matching who you are with the trading system. So
Right.
and if you would have taken this, you would have done very well with it. So all
Amazing.
very good.
So what trading system is that, if you don't mind? Would you share kind of the platforms
This
you
is,
like to use?
I call it loaded gun. It's the loaded. My wife hates the name, but right here, this is a signal right here to go long, and it's the
Yeah.
perfect signal.
Yeah.
Loaded. It looks like a revolver. Looks like here's the trigger, and the revolver pointing to the sky, the barrel of the gun. So
Yeah.
I call it the loaded gun simple trading plan, and we have that offered. Um, uh, but I think that today, if I'm going to tempt anybody to that, especially if they're working with their mental and emotional facilities, that they consider prop trading. And I've got a small prop trading course that I can offer at the end if you'd like. But for right now, this is how I do it. Very simple,
Yeah.
very effective.
Love that. Love simple, because it's such a complicated space. Deciding where you want to invest, what you want to follow, whether you're into commodities or AI or tech, or just trying to track what's happening in the media and where to put your money in. You got to be so focused and have a plan, as you call yourself, the disciplined trader.
Yeah, I've just stopped sharing that. Yeah, and we talked just before we end, and I know that we don't have a time. We talked about, and you alluded to it now, this whole idea of AI and what it's going to do to the trader. I've been doing a lot of studying on it. In fact, I'm creating a course where traders can move from where they are manual trading to some form of AI trading very gradually, in a community. And I think that's important, because really 4 or 5 years from now, it's going to be a lot of automation. And if you don't at least learn the basics of it in a very slow way, especially I work with a lot of senior traders
Mm-hmm.
who have nothing to do after retirement. So, and I think that, and being a senior myself, I don't like the stress. So I keep the trading plan simple. I like to give myself time to evolve into something new, and so that's what we're doing. But it's the prop trading that, to me, is something that I know it's growing. I don't really have to tell people,
Yeah.
but it's exciting.
I love it. I think you've actually offered some really, really good advice here that's pretty actionable for anybody that's watching. It's nice to just see people's actual strategies and then how you can try to implement that for yourself. So I appreciate you being very honest and direct with what you do on a day to day. But yeah, the AI space is definitely something that's super interesting. I think time is of the essence when it comes to trading, and if AI can help execute a trade or help you make decisions faster, that would be such a game changer.
Yeah, it's almost there. I think the next couple of years, most traders will be experimented on with the AI, because
Oh God.
most of what I see right now is not quite as effective as still doing the right thing manually. But it
Mhm.
will get there, and it'll get there quickly. So it's kind of up to us as a community of traders to kind of help each other move forward, and accept the things that are proven as we go along.
Yeah.
I've got some pretty good connections, so I think I can tell what is working and what isn't.
Well, maybe look up forward to having a follow-up conversation with you. Maybe we can dive into that in more detail. We've kind of used up most of your time today. Is there any last words that you'd like to share before we sign off?
Well, I think, I've got a beginner kind of a course if you'd like to avail yourself of it. I've made a coupon code. I don't know if there's a chat, but I think somebody's putting it in, but I'll just say, there it is, Midday Bell. That is the coupon code
Oh,
when
nice.
you get there. And for $197 instead of $497, you can get my introductory course on prop trading. It gives you all the basic things that you should be doing as a prop trader. It's actually one word there, Midday Bell. It's pretty long. And the link is thedisciplinedtrader.com/prop. Thedisciplinedtrader.com/prop, and use Midday Bell, one giant word, as your coupon code. And for $197, you're going to get a real nice education.
Amazing.
So I'm really glad to share what I can contribute. It's an exciting field to be in at any age.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate the time.
I appreciate it too. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a wonderful day. We look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Thank you.
Bye.